Pleased to have here in our New York studio for the first time. Normally talk with this gentleman when he's out in Los Angeles, where his beloved Dodgers almost pulled it off. The man who plays Detective James Gordon, now currently in season 4 on Fox of Gotham. Ben McKenzie, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Rich.
Yeah, you bet. So, geez, I guess my condolences on your Dodgers. It was right then and there, right? It was right there.
I just finally came out of mourning yesterday. This is the first day I'm not wearing black.
Yeah.
It was a great series. I got to see Game 4 in Houston,
Right.
which is one we won. So that my experience of it, my personal experience of it, was very positive.
Yeah, I guess that was the Game 4 where Alex Wood started against Lance McCullers.
Yes, and it was like the way the series should have gone if you're a Dodger fan, right? Like we Wood had a good start.
Right.
We kept him in, I don't know, like 4 or 5 innings. Then the game to the bullpen. We got enough runs. We got ahead. The bullpen closed it down, and that was like, oh, this is how the rest of it's going to be.
Right.
No.
Well, yeah, that's right. McCullers started Game 3, and then he started Game 7 eventually. So you didn't go to that Game 3 where you Darvish got lit up, and you weren't at that Game 5 where that game was Kershaw's to have with a 4 and 3 run lead, and then went totally off the rails.
Heartbreak.
I know, right?
And then 7 was like such a just sort of like in general kind of like I kept waiting for the Dodgers to do something.
And then it never happened.
Just couldn't do it. I mean, I give all the credit in the world to the Astros. What an unbelievable team effort. I mean,
they were incredible. And so are the Dodgers too, though. I mean, it was, two 100-win teams going at it. Jose Altuve was just named MVP of the American League last night.
Amazing.
And he's
well deserved.
Now you're more of a Dallas guy because I know you're from Texas.
I'm from
right?
Austin.
You're from Austin,
which is sort of equidistant from Houston and Dallas.
So does that make you Houston Dallas agnostic, pretty much?
Exactly. I mean, the baseball games I would go to are the Longhorn baseball games, the University of Texas, which has a good program and definitely did when
anybody who you remember that played there that wound up playing in the major leagues?
Oh yeah, yes, but now I'm blanking on a couple of pitchers
who made it there.
Oh man. Yeah,
the guy named Roger Clemens.
Well, yes, no, but that's and I could always throw that out. That's a little before my time, but yes.
So when were you there? So Brockman can look him up.
Yeah,
when were you there?
Brockman.
When were you there?
I lived there until 97.
Okay, look it up.
So
for him,
sort of like 80s and 90s. Good program. College baseball, a different beast. Obviously, you're sort of there's maybe 5,000 people in the stands.
Sure, I know. I remember I went to Michigan. Yeah. And I covered the Michigan baseball team. Now, Big Ten baseball teams don't have it like teams down in Texas or on the West Coast because, it gets kind of cold from time to time.
Occasionally.
But there was a pitcher named Jim Abbott who pitched for the Yankees eventually, and obviously the Angels, who was born with one hand.
Yes.
And I remember being in this small stadium in Ann Arbor that was filled with fans, and then tons of scouts to watch him play, where he threw like a 3-hit shutout in the first game. And in the second game, because there were a bunch of National League scouts there, they put him up there to hit, to show that he could hit in the major leagues as well. And he laced an opposite field triple. And I will never, it's truly, to this day, Ben,
that's amazing,
one of the greatest baseball moments I've ever witnessed.
That's really extraordinary.
I remember sitting there covering it, and I was right behind, and there was a scout that always was holding up the jugs gun for the pitchers, and he put the jugs gun away in his suitcase, which kind of looked like a Pulp Fiction type suitcase. It didn't glow when it opened up, but it had like a San Francisco Giants logo on it. I'm like, okay, we got National League scouts here, and he was incredible.
That's amazing, lacing a triple
opposite field. The other. Did you find anybody in the Longhorn program?
Houston Street.
Yes, Houston Street. I remember he was pretty.
There. J.P. Howell.
Those are guys right there.
Yeah. Houston Street, I remember.
Drew Stubbs.
Ben McKenzie here on the Rich Eisen Show from Gotham. What'd you think about this Longhorn season that was filled with so much football hope of Coach Herman now?
We're getting better. We're in the games. We're not getting blown out, at least not regularly. And we're making it competitive and at times, and winning the games we should win, or at least most of them. We got a ways to go, but I like how he's getting them to focus. The defense is solid. Ironically, it's our offense that's having a little trouble.
That game against USC was phenomenal.
It was.
That was a hell of a game.
It was.
And it was kind of a nice little throwback for you.
Yeah.
Did you notice, because, again, you're a busy man, again, playing Jim Gordon in Gotham. Did you see that the USC media notes for that game,
Right.
okay, had USC 4-0 all time?
Yes, I did see that. I did see that. There was quite a lot.
Because they said we were told that we had to remove everything from that season, wins and losses.
Right.
We had to vacate them all.
Right. Wow. I love that. I love the excuse that, like, we cheated, therefore our losses don't count as well.
Hey, they said the NCAA said that they had to vacate the entirety.
You know,
Of the season.
so I mean, we may have talked about this before, forgive me, but
Yeah.
I was living in LA in the 2005 season and bought 8 50-yard line tickets for my family who flew out. Yeah.
Ooh. What were you shooting Southland at the time?
I was
or-
shooting
the OC?
It was either it must have been the OC. It must have been third
Okay.
or fourth year of the OC.
Sure.
And I mean, because this was, this hadn't happened in decades for us, and certainly not in my lifetime or my consciousness. So, we had to do it, and it was right there. It was right in LA. So we had 8 50-yard line seats, and we watched the game of our lives, and Vince Young running into the end zone, and just sit there amongst the USC fans who have got to be some of those smug, self-satisfied.
I was on the field for that, and it was great because I don't like USC either.
Come on.
Fantastic.
Well, you were Notre Dame guys, so you enjoyed that.
I mean, Leinert's post-game, we're still the better team, that kind of thing. You're like, you guys just, we beat you. We beat you in your own
Well, not
house.
according to USC.
Exactly.
That was great. I mean, everybody was pointing out, well, hold on a minute.
It's like
The game notes are normally very accurate from the
I
sports
know.
information department coming out of South Central Los
They've got a
Angeles.
Trumpian memory, those guys.
And yet, hey, they said they were just following
Sure.
what they were trying to do.
Sure.
So, and this ground we have covered before, but I want to hit it again here because the Saints are now 7-2.
Yeah.
And you go back in the day with Drew Brees, correct?
Yeah.
You played what with him?
We
back
played middle school football together. We went to St. Andrews Middle School in Austin, Texas. and
Okay.
he was definitely the quarterback, and
Yes, he was.
and great. He hadn't actually. I don't think he'd started playing tackle at all until high school, and then we went to different high schools.
It's amazing what he has become.
Unbelievable, and what a career, and what a lovely guy.
Have you crossed paths with him at all?
No,
recently?
we haven't at all.
No.
We got to at some point. I gotta reach out to him. But
Yeah, I mean they're 7-2 right now.
it's amazing.
7 wins in a row, and he does not seem to be anything but first ballot awesome still.
Yeah,
Pushing 40 with
I know.
4 kids too, I
I
believe. I
know.
believe he's got 4 of them.
I know.
I know.
I'll sit down on the couch to watch him play and hurt myself.
That's right. And he's pushing 40. Ben McKenzie here on the Rich Eisen Show. So how's everything going on Gotham season 4? That is amazing.
Yeah, season 4. I'm now a captain,
Okay.
so that's
So you're no longer
big news.
Detective James
I am
Gordon.
no longer Detective James Gordon as of a couple weeks ago.
Now
I am
it-
now a captain.
At what point do you foresee Gotham covering your time when you finally ascend to the role that everybody
Well,
knows?
that is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
To be commissioner in the next couple of years seems a little tricky, so it would perhaps have to spool out. But yeah,
Okay.
we'll see.
You never
We'll see.
know. Well, apparently commissioner might be available in the National Football League very soon, too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure I
Whatever.
want that job.
You sure you don't want that one? To figure all that. So what would be tougher? Would be corralling
Gotham City
Gotham
villains.
City or the
Right.
National Football
Right,
League
right.
membership? What do you think?
Yeah, boy, that's treading into some interesting territory.
I know.
Perhaps I should.
I'm already second guessing asking the question as I head back to the NFL Network for an important meeting tomorrow for Week 11.
Yeah, their meeting was right across the street from where I live at the Conrad the other day when they were discussing the
With the
kneeling
national
and-
anthem.
Yeah,
Did you knock on the door?
Yeah,
and give them your
exactly.
2
Just sort
cents
of
on the subject?
exactly. Sold up a sign outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's unfortunate that that the oxygen has been sucked out of the room to a certain degree, and both things should, in my mind, be able to exist simultaneously, which is players, i.e., citizens of this great democracy, expressing their opinion however they see fit, as our Constitution allows. Lest we forget, and also we can enjoy a football game.
Right.
It would
And-
seem like we could do both of these. At the
And
same time.
also, like I do when my kids are at a game, we stand and put our hand over our heart.
Right.
And that's the way that I conduct myself during the national anthem.
Right.
But I've had a different American experience than the players who are not standing
Exactly.
for the national anthem.
Exactly.
And we can have a conversation about it, still enjoy some football, and try to make this world
would
a
hope so.
better place.
I would hope so.
To me, that sounds, rational.
I know. We're living in highly irrational times. We're living in quite sort of polarized, strange times. It's a shame that even football has gotten infected.
And so, how old are your kids? How old are your kids?
4 and a little less than 2.
Dude, man.
I know. So
You're
there's a
in
lot
the
more
soup.
football to come.
Yeah.
The 4-year-old said the other day he liked the Yankees.
Well, your 4-year-old sounds like a
But he said he
very
also
smart
liked
guy.
the Dodgers too.
So here's just
at least there's a little bit of
I married into a New England family.
right.
I'm from here in New York City.
Right.
Okay. So I don't need to tell you. You're a man. You're a man of the world. You've got a
Indeed.
You've got a beautiful spouse. Okay. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. It's all about compromise.
Indeed.
Ben, correct?
Indeed.
So here we go. When the Patriots onesies began arriving at the house,
Right.
it was okay. As a guy who grew up loving the Jets,
Yeah.
if I, in the Tom Brady era, tried to make a stand here, child services would come knocking.
Right.
on the
Right.
house.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm a Michigan Wolverine, so rooting for Tom Brady,
Sure.
big time thumbs up.
Sure.
I'm a New York Knicks fan. The Celtics bibs arrived at the house, and I'm like, okay. The Knicks are run by the worst owner in sports,
True.
and this is pre-Porzingis.
Right.
And
Okay.
and they started rooting for Isaiah Thomas, who's now on the Cavs. I'm like,
Right.
that guy's aces,
Right.
not a problem.
Right.
Red Sox, books, stuffed animals. The Green Monster showed up. Red line.
Red line.
Red line.
Yeah.
To the point where my daughter's middle name is Mattingly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Man.
My
Well, here's
goodness.
the
So
thing.
how did that conversation
Well,
go?
it was like we had 2 boys. My wife said, someone's missing. She
Uh-huh.
was correct, even though
Uh-huh.
I'm like, wow, 2's already a lot. 3's going to be a handful.
Yeah.
So she's like, here's the deal. We try for the girl, we get the girl. You name the girl. I'm like, okay. We try for the girl, we get the girl. My naming rights are demoted to middle name.
Well, were you gonna go?
Compromise.
Were you gonna go Mattingly first name? I mean, what's
I
the?
don't know. I honestly-
You're like, I'm not sure. Don.
Ben-
Don's a great name for a girl.
No, I didn't have a plan. I mean, if
Okay,
you're saying- if you're
fair
asking me what the
enough.
plan
Sure.
was, I was kind of spitballing.
Sure.
you
No,
know?
absolutely.
But
Just the.
middle name demoted, Mattingly.
Hey, you know what? I think that is that's a good marriage right there.
So,
That's a screwed up kid
Okay.
for the rest of her life. You know that
but
just.
if Monica has no sports dog in the hunt,
Yes.
and your child wants to root for something other than your team,
Yes. Yeah.
that one I don't have any roadmap for you on that front.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, he is saying both Yankees and Dodgers. So I know. Look,
But you're bi-coastal.
and it's the long game.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's 4. We got
It's
a
the
lot of years. A lot of years to work on him.
Well, check out Gotham again on Fox Thursdays at 8 Eastern Time, currently in season 4. At Ben_McKenzie on Twitter. Good to see you here, sir.
see you, Rich.
You bet. As always, Ben McKenzie here on this edition of The Rich Eisen Show.
For more Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Rich Eisen Show app.